And now we move on to Professor Nalin Bharti. Particularly, I would like to hear from him because, what we have heard so far is that, IIM and IITs, and so these are the favored institutions where investments are likely to happen. But at the same time, we also have a situation where, there is a proportionately higher, as a consequence, the allocations are likely to favor the metropolitan towns, the bigger towns, and so on and so forth. Patna perhaps would be lagging behind, not just because it doesn't have the educational infrastructure, but also because other kinds of agglomeration economies do not really seem to be taking place in Patna. Of course, in comparison to other districts and towns of Bihar, Patna is certainly better off, but not so better off in reference to other metropolitan towns in India. So how would you look at the allocation, particularly with reference to, say, the smaller towns, the medium towns, and say other class 1 towns, in so far as spread of these initiatives which have been already mentioned by our friends on the panel. So over to you, Nalin.
Yeah, thank you, Professor Sinha, and thank you, IMPRI, for organizing this event. I just wanted to touch upon some of the points which was missed out as a part of science and technology and research, and then I will come back to your question. So very quickly, if we can see the clean tech manufacturing mission. So this time, government is focusing on the EV, also for the solar panels. Last time also, in last budget also, this point was touched upon in the budget. So I am finding again, so a clear cut, what we see here, that there is a direction that we cannot grow like what we have grown in, what we have done in past. We have to at least change our uh, approach in terms of reaching to the sustainable development goals. India has to meet that because it is one of the major country in the world. So this budget looks sensitive in that sense. If I will also see nuclear energy mission for Viksit Bharat. The target is huge, and uh, India is targeting for 100 gigawatts by 2047. Current capacity is around 8 gigawatt, while United States are having the capacity of 97 gigawatt. So after around 2047, we are targeting the capacity which United States is having today. So this is one area which has it was also been discussed by Professor Rupa Manjari Ghosh, madam. And then I will also see this very important point, that is public sector driven research. In fact, a very recent thesis under my supervision, which was focusing on whether FDI has improved the intellectual property rights in India or not. And we were looking for the countries where India has signed its agreement with our that is called SEPA, Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. And we have seen that wherever we have a clause in our agreement in terms of investment and IPR linkage and how to protect intellectual property rights as a part of our agreement, we have not received IPR applications or patent applications from the countries where we are having more investment, but we are flourishing. We are speeding up applications from those countries where we have agreements like SEPA and SESA. It shows that the countries which has more clause related to IPR and FDI comprehensive agreements, those countries are better partners. So when we are looking for this public sector driven research, the private, I don't consider private only the domestic private investors. We have to also look at, because we live in a global world, and when we are looking for innovation, startups, R&D activities, giving 10,000 more fellowships, PM, Prime Minister fellowship, we are basically looking for a different India, which has to be more equipped with lots of new technologies and more R&D activities. So if we are looking for that, we have to also look for our future direction. That is basically how we can also convince our partner countries, those who are coming for investment. A small focus group discussion which we have conducted in Tokyo with pharmaceutical company, and we were trying to ask, especially in the JETRO office in Tokyo, that uh, why you are still investing in China, why you do not want to invest in India. And they were making it clear that it is not basically uh, it is not only because uh, China is a better performing country and giving us more return. It is also because of three other social issues, that Indians are very talkative, India has multilingualism, and Indians are having lots of curry in their lunch and dinner. So it's not always the economic indicators. It is also the social indicators, other cultural indicators. So investors are looking from their point, that how easy it will be to invest in a country. So when we are looking this data of deep tech fund for funds or new startups, PM research fellowship, then connecting it to uh, the new environment friendly production system, we find that there is a huge pressure on India to do something and to catch some more investment, to have more growth, faster growth, and to somehow to catch those international investors and especially export partners and trade partners. And we should also have more export items. And somehow we find that there is a paradox, whether we should become the exporting countries or we should substitute some of our import material. So we find that this budget is in between those paradox, and there is a struggling India which is coming out in my mind, that government is trying to bring India to showcase that there are something new happening in India. There is something different happening in India. There is something new happening in India, and then only we can again take some of the new initiatives in terms of international partnership. So I find that whatever new initiatives has been taken in this budget had some international linkage also, having some uh, different meaning also. We should not only link this budget only for the domestic targets which we have always to fulfill, but we have also some of the important lessons from the geopolitical changes happening in the world. So this is my point. And second point, that about how uh, big cities and small cities are getting benefits. The government has also tried to balance this time a little bit. There are some investment in the cities like Patna. There are new institutions coming up to Bihar. But at the same time, we also find that those states which are more industrialized and better performing states, they will certainly have different benefits from these budgets, because uh, even if Prime Minister research fellows are, it will be 10,000 in number. Where they will come? They will go to IIT Madras, they will go to IIT Mumbai, or they will come to IIT Patna. And given the choice to the student, certainly they will go to Madras, they will go to Hyderabad, they will go to Mumbai. So it is not basically the fault of the institutions where they are situated, but it is also the facilities and other infrastructure which students wants to exploit to get more and more return after the end of these fellowships and to get more better opportunities in their life. So I just want to stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Nalin. Thank you for your comments. I think